Greetings, YouTube. I had to push this fairly far back to show off what this item is. This is the Life+Gear lantern, so I'm going to move it in a little further so you can get a look at it. This is a hand-cranked emergency lantern. It has a built-in compass. It's also very dusty. I apologize. It's really dusty. It's been sitting on my shelf for years. Got a built-in compass, which does work. Has a built-in handle for hanging, carrying it. This is the crank. It's a fair amount of resistance. It's more resistant than like the Grundig and the Eaton emergency lights I've got. But it's not too bad. Yeah, and it breaks a little faster. So yeah, there's definitely more resistance. I believe I picked this up at Walmart many years ago. I know I've purchased more than one of them, and I give them as presents. I've given them as presents. So you have an audio jack. You have a mobile phone connection. As you can see, I mean, there's the audio jack, and there's the mobile phone. That's a mobile phone type that no one has used in ages. So I have no idea if this would be useful to anybody at all. There's an antenna, which does function. And over here we have a charging port, which I don't have any idea where the charger is. None whatsoever. So here we have a switch which goes to, and this is going to be very brief, and I apologize for this. Prepare your ears. That's an emergency signal. Though the siren is going to drain the battery a whole lot faster than just the signal is. And there's the night light in case you have campers, young kids that need a night light. There you go, it's single LED night light. Okay, and now we're going to do the lighting options. Low, high. Now this will last a lot longer than will this with the siren, and it's still blinking like this with the combination of red and white is going to be seen for a very, very, very far long distance. And this is not, this is concealed and everything. I would not consider this thing to be more than weatherproof. I would really not want to trust my life to this. Now this has got a battery compartment, so you can run AA batteries in here, which are darn near ubiquitous. I mean, in an emergency, you raid the remote control in the living room and put them in this. You may very well save your family's life. Now this is a rubberized coating, which actually is old enough that it's begun to become tacky on me. That's how old this thing is. I've had this for ages. This is the controller for, there's the Life+Gear symbol. You can see the Life+Gear symbol right there. You can see the little plus sign. And I can't, it says something under it, I think, but I can't quite tell what it is. Alrighty, so now here we have the controls for the radio. So we have volume and on-off. We have AM/FM choices, and then we have the tuner itself. So it's
5 miles per hour down pit lane. Jimmy John.
Apparently, there's a NASCAR race going on somewhere. But this will let you pick AM/FM depending on your choice. I'm not really sure why they put this behind the spiffy cover. What they did, I think it's kind of interesting. It does keep everything from somebody touching them inadvertently. But the light, the button, to my mind, you're going to be concerned about somebody hitting it inadvertently is this one, because that's going to set the light off. But I don't know. And I like the fact that it has the siren built into it, because it's got a speaker built right in for the radio. Might as well have a siren. You know what I mean? It's going to be using the same technology. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not hugely heavy. This is definitely not something I want to carry camping. But this is something you would put in your house. I think it's even too big for your car, frankly. But this is definitely a house piece of emergency gear. Put it on a shelf like I do, but I've got a number of different lanterns in my collection. Put that on the shelf, and you find yourself in need. This could very well give you the communication and the signaling devices that you need to keep your family safe. I'm not sure if it's available any longer. Like I said, I picked it up, I don't know, 10 years ago or longer. I gave out a number of them over the years as presents, but then they stopped carrying them at Walmart, and I didn't know where they went. So I stopped buying them. I would have kept buying them for people because I like the design. Again, for household use, this is a definite plus. It's a solid design in my opinion. I might want it to be a little smaller, just crank this whole thing down by an inch or something, make that a little easier to stick somewhere, maybe slim it up just a slight bit if you could, but with the battery as a backup, and you've got the hand crank that works admirably. It's a solid build. It feels hefty in the hand. It doesn't feel like you're going to break it when you're trying to keep it cranked. And this has been sitting on my shelf I haven't turned this thing on in probably 5 years, all right? And I picked this up for this video, and it was dead. And I cranked it for about 2 minutes. And then I cranked it here in the video itself, and it's working fine. Everything on this device still functions. So I think that's a great plus. I don't know what the ratio to cranking to battery life. I think most of these things, it's like 1 minute equals like 3 or 4 minutes of light or radio time. The light's going to be less because the LEDs are going to draw less, I think, than the speaker will. So if you were using a radio jack, headphones, you'd probably be able to get more battery life out of this thing. But again, this could also be something you can give your kids. It's a great toy in the sense that no batteries. They want to listen to the radio. They want to play with the blinky lights. Make them crank it themselves. I've given out flashlights like that to people that required them to kids to put their solar panels and a crank built in. So their parents are like, "There's no batteries," and they were so happy. And the kids were happy because they had a cool gadget. So I prefer giving out gifts that don't require batteries if I can, and this doesn't require a battery, and it's a piece of emergency equipment. And that's how I think about gift giving when it comes to like housewarming gifts. This is the perfect housewarming gift. If someone moves into my old building where I was living, I would give them one of these because I thought it was just the best design you could have for a good piece of kit for your household. So I've blathered long enough about this emergency radio and things like that. But there you go. It's the Life+Gear emergency signaling device, radio. You have it. I think it's a good design. I hope that somewhere out there you can still get them.